A massive thank you to Gudrun, not JVK, Scott, Akif and Smithy for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 15 of Season 5 of our F122 My Team Career Mode. Yes, this weekend we head back to the Temple of Speed. It's the Italian Grand Prix, and of course, if you missed out on the last video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Of course, yeah, Zandvoort was, again, another interesting race that has made part of the storyline of this season. And of course, yeah, as we come into this weekend though, we've earned a few R&D points for our troubles there. 240 for the component issues. I don't actually know what component it was that we had issues with last weekend. Nothing is still showing any ridiculous signs of wear, so I don't really know what's going on with this game. Of course, championship-wise, we're a long way back. We're, what, 80 points, just 79 points back from Lando Norris now, who retakes the lead in the championship ahead of Charles Leclerc. To be honest, with how many races we've got left of the season, I think we've just got to kind of do our own thing. We can't really look to worry about the championship anymore. And if we get into the sort of the final 3 Grand Prix and we've got to help Charles Leclerc out, I'm sure we can do so if needed. But so little luck this season. Will we get to the end of this race? I feel like I'm going to ask myself that every weekend now. Well, here we are then, qualifying day from the Temple of Speed. And I tell you what, margins are tight. That everyone that made it into Q2 was separated by half a second come the end of the session. So it is going to be all about trying to get that perfect lap nailed here in Q3. Top times are going to be down in towards the mid, maybe even a low 17. But honestly, for how much we go on about how quick this car is down the straights, so far this weekend, Audi are not looking fastest. Oh, that's not going to do us any favours. Big mistake as we head out of the second Lesmo. They're trying to maximise the run as we head back under the old circuit, but no one else setting a particularly brilliant time so far. Apparently, I'm still purple in Sector 2, despite that error there. As let's see then, as we head out of Parabolica, again, try and get as much of the car over that white line as you can. Just keep those 2 left-hand wheels inside there, down 2 gears as you head down through Parabolica, out of the final turn, sorry, out of Scar. No, I'm getting all my corner names muddled up. Anyway, up to the line, it's still an 18-1. That puts us P2. Hopefully the second lap I can actually commentate correctly. Well, after all my discussions about how this car wasn't looking the fastest on the track, Charles Leclerc's gone and absolutely made me look like a mug there. 117.2 for Charlie Boy here, of course, has taken a win for Ferrari around this circuit. I'm not too sure whether he's their golden son anymore. I think Lando Norris, all eyes will be on him here around the grandstands. But we need a lot of time if we want to try and get back up to the front. Let's try and nail this final lap. That line through the second chicane was not perfect, but it does actually let you get away with that, even on strict corner cutting there. Half a second up, we definitely haven't got the time to match Charles, but what are we going to be able to do as we head out of the final corner? It's not going to really find any more there. Out of the final turn, up towards the line, I think we're going to be about P4. We go 4th in the end. That'll do. Well, there we go then. Charles Leclerc taking pole position here. Lando Norris just under 2/10 away. But Oscar Piastri, of course, everyone thinks when they think of Italian Formula 1 teams, they think Ferrari. But Oscar Piastri putting a smile on all of the AlphaTauri workforce's face there. P3 on the grid for the young Australian. We line up alongside him. Like I said, I'm not really going to focus on the championship picture anymore. Let's just try and take some wins where we can. Will today be the first?
It's time for the Italian Grand Prix once again, here at the beloved and iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. With the lowest downforce and drag of any circuit in the season, expect to see drivers making the most of the slipstream effect here today. With top speeds up to 215 and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Oscar Piastri, Mr. Monaco, Esteban Ocon, and Perez, Yuri Vips, Albon, Gasly, and Mick Schumacher, Joe, Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, and Tsunoda, Daruvala, Drugovich, Nicholas Latifi, and Daniel Ticktum, Bottas, Schwartzman, Magnussen, and Théo Pourchaire. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into Turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into Turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Right, here we are then, trackside for the Italian Grand Prix, and immediately I'm seeing a problem there. I do not want to do mediums over to hards. Of course, we know just how not abrasive this circuit can be. Apparently it's still slower, but you know what, I'm going to try it anyway there. I mean, if the AI do mediums to hards, we have got a good sign ahead of us ready for this afternoon, and it looks like they all are. Like I said, not worried about championship, just want to try and take wins where we can, and if we end up close, we end up close. If we don't, we don't. We're basically confined, I think, to P3 this championship, which is quite worrying with a third of the season remaining. It's rather weird then, in this alternate universe, Ferrari's past versus Ferrari's future on the front row, both vying for their first world sorry, Charles Leclerc already has a world championship with Ferrari. Lando Norris, he wants to try and claim his first world title in Scarlet Red as well there. And I mean, if he wins here today, that could have big, big knock-on effect for Ferrari late on in the campaign. Purple score on the lineup, just waiting on those Aston Martins at the rear of the field. But yeah, for me, for now, I'm racing each week by itself, not too worried about bigger picture. Let's just try and go out, have some fun, and see what we can walk away with. Ready on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. Trying to monitor the wheel spin as best as possible there, and we'll lose places, sink like a stone as we head down towards someone. Then we'll try and make sure we get to the inside as all Albon thinks about it. Or get turned across a little bit there, get rammed over the curbing through the first corner, but we get back around the outside of both Williams' cars off the exit. And we have only lost 2 places there, as I think Charles Leclerc has held on to the lead ahead of Lando through the first couple of turns. No, Lando Norris has done it. Up the inside, then he goes. So Ferrari, you would have, I'm sure if this was real life, would have heard a roar from the crowd as Lando Norris straight into the lead of the race. Not only is it his team's home Grand Prix, but of course, further now, potentially could extend his lead in the championship. And this is what I meant a couple of races ago back at Belgium, when I said Ferrari can come on so strong late on in a campaign. It might get to the point where we have to play second fiddle to Charles Leclerc in the final few races, but for now, Lando Norris leads here at the Temple of Speed. We're just slowly getting the tyres working where I need them. Ocon, Frenchman, next car up the road, and Albon. I mean, Williams seem to have had a bit of a renaissance here. There goes Lando Norris back to the outside of, Charles to the outside of Lando down at the final corner. Has he pulled it off? I can't quite see in front of me. I think Charles Leclerc has there. So Leclerc leads at the end of lap 1. Ferrari's past, ahead of Ferrari's future, but Lando Norris still not done with it. Back to the inside as we head in towards the first corner there. We've got more squabbling going on behind them. And will we now see the Ferrari make it through again? No, Lando Norris can't quite put the power down. Charles Leclerc will still lead. And there are battles going on everywhere. As Albon now trying to get a run on myself. Surely won't be able to do anything around Curva Grande. Will it be a Grande move from Alex Albon? There, he's actually got the run. How on earth has that Williams got that much straight line speed? But we'll swoop through late on the brakes there and cut across his nose. And we will live to fight another day. Charles Leclerc still leading the way as we start lap 3. DRS will now be enabled as, yeah, Yuki Tsunoda, certainly a man on a mission early on in this race. AlphaTauri are fast around this venue, but now we can see Perez waiting in the wings behind the top two. I've got to start making some inroads as Albon again trying to look for a move on Tsunoda. I think he's done him around the outside. Oh, there we go. First car into the 19s this afternoon with a little help from that DRS, but are we going to be able to gain enough on Esteban Ocon as we head back down towards turn 1? Oh, I apologise, Esteban. Might have had some beef in the past. I thought about sending it, but kind of realised that I wasn't committing late enough, or was ever going to be far enough alongside. I've got no idea what's happening behind me, but Albon and Yuki are both sinking like a stone. And our little group of 6 might very quickly turn into 2 groups of 3 there. Piastri just losing touch slightly with the Red Bull in front of him. You know, can't imagine Red Bull are going to say, you know, make sure you keep young Oscar inside the range. But certainly is delivering at the moment, as he has still got the DRS. So was Ocon behind him, of course, so have I. Alex Albon definitely doesn't though, as here we go. More battles back down towards turn 1 at the front of the field. I am actually going to send it this time round on Esteban Ocon. A little bit of front locking on the way in, but we make it work. And Charles Leclerc still at the front of the field. We, however, are back into P5. Oh, Oscar Piastri not getting the run out of the Ascari chicane. I think he's going to be vulnerable as we head back down towards someone. I don't think he was in the DRS range of Perez in front of him. No, he definitely wasn't. So surely now Oscar Piastri is going to be a bit of a sitting duck as we head back down towards someone. Then open up that DRS. Piastri is going to go defensive. It don't really matter there as Lando Norris to the outside of Charles once again. Back down towards turn 1. Late on the brakes. Will we hook it up around the outside of Oscar? Just to make sure we get it tidy through turn 2 as Charles Leclerc still hanging on at the front. Oh, Perez, big moment as we went through the Ascari chicane that time round, and I was hoping I might be able to get a run on him back down towards turn 1. But we might be able to try and do something around the outside there. Not quite just about. I think he was desperately trying to use battery to stay in front, but I think he's lost the DRS to the top 2, so it might be one Audi about to lose a place, but the other one is more than likely about to gain one there as another new fastest lap of the day to the inside of Sergio Perez we go. Charles Leclerc once more. How many times am I going to say this afternoon? Going defensive from Lando Norris. Oh, they're getting so close through that first corner, but we're now up at a P3, so I have now finally made progress in this race as we close up on 1/3 distance. The top 2 in the championship, still the top 2 in this race. That is most definitely not the line through there. Just got to try and cover off from Sergio on the exit. That curbing is always so lethal. And it looks like Perez has hung on. Oh, Oscar Piastri has dropped back behind Ocon, so no idea what quite happened behind me. But that's now given the top 2 a little bit of a chance to break free. I have to really try and put some laps in if I want to close that gap down. Oh, Lando Norris this time round. He's got the inside line on Charles Leclerc as they head back down towards turn 1. Oh, look at that. They're so close. Back down towards that first corner there. Lando Norris trying to muscle his way through and force Leclerc into submission. And there we go. He has completed the move. So now the top 3 in this Grand Prix, the top 3 in the championship, all in the correct order. But Lando Norris is taking him 10 laps to find a way back round Charles. How many laps will it take Charlie boy? Here goes Charles Leclerc again on Lando Norris as we head back down towards turn 1. To the outside he's going to look. Lando Norris again will go defensive, it seems to be. Whoever's got the inside line there at turn 1 has got the advantage. I'll almost lock up and run into the back of my teammate, and now suddenly this 2-car battle has turned back into 4. While we see Charles get a run as we head up Curva Grande, I think he's looking for it. Charles Leclerc to the outside. What is going to happen here then between the 2 cars? Oh, I do run into the back of Charles that time round. I thought he might try and hook it up around the outside of the Ferrari, but apparently not. Oh, Charles thought about it down at the end. He just moved out slightly in the braking zone there. Don't know if it was just trying to throw Lando Norris off or what. But there was just that slight moment where Charles Leclerc thought, you know what, I could send it here, and then realised it probably wasn't a sensible idea. Can we try and get a good run out of the final corner? Then nick the curb and allows the front end to dig into the corner and rotate the front axle around. But are we going to see again? I mean, they've pretty much been side by side every lap in towards turn 1. Charles Leclerc, though, this time around back to the inside of Lando Norris. I'm not a betting man, but I think that's going to mean Leclerc's going to come out in front. So we'll just try and sit back behind our teammate there. Oh, there's contact that time around as Lando Norris will get a bit of wheel spin off the exit. You know what? He's not lost one, he's lost 2 places. As we sneak up into P2, we've got yellow flags out a bit further back. I think that's now for Tauri. That must be Yuki Tsunoda after his heroics early on, falling to the wayside as Lando Norris there considered sending it back to the inside of myself. But really, I don't want a safety car here. It's an Aston Martin by the looks of it. Teo Porcher out of this Grand Prix. I don't think we're getting a safety car. Our team just warning me there's no issues with tyre wear just yet, but I wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing some of the AI heading into the pit lane at the end of this lap. There's those yellow flags as Charles Leclerc will be staying out one more, so will the 2 behind me. But here we go then, Audi versus Audi. Back down towards someone, 221 miles an hour there, just saw tick over on the speedo. As we head down in towards the first corner. Can we go around the outside? It doesn't work for the AI, but it certainly worked for me. And into the lead for the first time today we go. That is really, really promising. Whoa. Oh. Almost binned it as we head out of Ascari there. But you can see now Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc trying to get a run on me. 3 wide. Down in towards the final corner. Who's going to come out on top here? I've just got to back out. Oh no, there's contact. Charles Leclerc and I make contact off the corner. I don't know if he's picked up front wing damage as well there. As Charles Leclerc will get the run back on me down towards turn 1. I don't really know if we can fight this one all too much. So I don't know if he's picked up wing damage as well. But when we pit, we're definitely going to have to change for a new front wing. But that was not what we needed there. Charles Leclerc, I think he thought he was already completely clear of myself and tried to swoop back in. But with Lando Norris on the inside, things all just got very, very congested there. And I think Lando Norris, yeah, like I said, has peeled into the pits. I don't think he got any damage. He might just have been jumped by Checo Perez then, as I'm guessing we'll see Leclerc peel in at the end of this one. But I got so much damage on that front wing, I'm definitely going to have to change it. And yeah, there we go. Charles even will get back through. He's making a hash of it. But yeah, Perez now, I think, is up into the net lead then at this Grand Prix. So maybe, I don't think Lando Norris got damage, but it's all kicking off. Yeah, Gasly now also out of this Grand Prix. And yeah, that front wing damage is definitely costing me a little bit. But if I can extend this stint to the end of 16 and then bolt on those softs to the end of this Grand Prix, it is not over just yet. So are we now going to see Charlie Boy into the pit lane? Yes, we will. So this is really where our race could be won or lost. We even get a nice little bit of DRS off him as well. But yeah, are we going to see now Perez suddenly out of nowhere from 4th straight to the effective lead of the Grand Prix? I've just been thinking as well, I've led, I think, every single race since I won in Canada, and I haven't won a single one of them. Of course, we led in Austria by pit stops, we led in France, we led in Belgium, we led the start last time out at Zandvoort. None of those races I've won. Of course, Silverstone as well, I did win that race. So we've led a lot this season, but we haven't done much winning. We haven't lost much time to Sergio Perez behind, but that might be because Charles Leclerc has been trying to battle him still. But end of 16 then, 11 laps to go of this GP. We are going to peel into the pit lane. Of course, we're going to lose a bit more time changing that front wing. It's definitely going to be worth it, though, in the long run here. But, I mean, look at that. I think we're back to a train of 5 cars battling for what is the net lead there. I mean, the Williams and the other AlphaTauri are not far behind them either as Optimal on the turn-in, but we are going to have a big grip advantage, at least for a few laps, once we get back out of this pit lane there. Don't rev the nuts off the car. Come on, get the wing done. 7.7. And where are we going to re-emerge then in this Grand Prix? I think we're going to be out around that second Ferrari car. Yep, Daniel Ricciardo. So we are going to re-emerge then back in P9 of this Grand Prix, so a lot further back than I really wanted. That is also not the line I wanted at turn 1. Careful, careful. Come on, get on with it, Matt. We have still got a race to win. So effectively then, I've got to make sure I overtake 1 car a lap between now and the end of this Grand Prix if I still want to win this thing. Like I said, we may as well just take all the risk we possibly can. Just not worried about the bigger picture anymore. Purple second sector, purple final sector. Surely we'll get a run on Danny Rick as we head back down towards turn 1. 222 miles an hour. So that is late on the brakes. We just about get the car slowed down though, and we have just Danny Rick. Let's get that fastest lap. There we go, 19.1, new fastest lap of the day, by half a second clear of anyone else. Well, young Mick Schumacher, many I'm sure would have thought we would have seen him winning races here in the Ferrari cars, but it certainly has not been his time round the outside of the, well, not so young German anymore, of course, in this alternate universe. But we are back into P8 then of this race. Yeah, Mick Schumacher knows it's not really a fight worth having at the moment, as I think Leclerc is back into the lead. Oh, almost a 1 minute 18 in this Grand Prix, but I think, yeah, that's probably sensibly going to be as fast as we can go unless we get really lucky with some slipstream there. But look at that, top 2 now. Perez back into the lead of the Grand Prix, but now Lando Norris under pressure from Esteban Ocon. So, yeah, Leclerc and Checo have been able to break free. The other problem we've got at the moment is Tsunoda, of course, has actually done the same strategy as me, obviously just the other way around. So he's still got a bit more grip than most of the other cars in front of him. So he might actually be one of the more difficult cars to overtake between now and the front of the field. 6 laps to go here at Monza, and are we going to be able to get close enough to the AlphaTauri as we head back down towards turn 1? 223, 224 miles an hour there. As to the inside we'll go, make sure we get it stopped. Do not want to go over the back of Sir Lance, and 7th place is now ours. Oh, Lance not getting a good run out in towards Ascari. Are we going to be able to have a look to the inside? Oh, he's going to really try and squeeze me. We will get the nose there. Just about outbrake him in towards the corner there. Just made sure I was far enough alongside that he wouldn't turn in. That one was more scary, and just because of the way the AI drive on this game, or the fact it was Lance Stroll, you decide. Oh, again, I think it's the Lesmos where we're really getting a good opportunity against these AI. Oscar Piastri not got the grip off the corner, and we will get to the inside. Looks like Leclerc's got to the inside of Perez further up the road, so we will slide on by. Second time I've done that today. That one was even more scary. 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go. Here from Monza, we've lost DRS to the cars in front, but I haven't lost my wing. We are definitely starting to run out of laps though, 25 of 27, and we are still sat in P5 at the moment. We're a long, long way back behind Esteban Ocon as we head back down towards turn 1, but he hasn't got anywhere near the same slipstream I have. To the inside. Oh, Ocon jumped out of the way, and that was a Daniel Ricciardo style move. 4 laps to go of this GP, 3 laps to go even, I should say. And that one, honestly, probably should have gone wrong, but it hasn't. Oh, 2 laps to go, Ty, where warning light has just flashed up. We are closing in on Lando Norris, but Perez now trying to go on the offensive again on Charles Leclerc. So we head back down in towards the first corner. Definitely not close enough to Lando Norris to go for anything. But Perez as well, just playing the waiting game. Well, I thought Lando honestly was going to turn in there, and he kind of half did. We get a warning for a collision with the Ferrari car, but can we hook it up around the outside through turn 3? Certainly got the legs. Ferrari, they're very, very fast. Oh, Lando Norris very, very aggressive with the blocking here. 2 laps to go, less than 2 laps to go. P3 might be all we can get, but if we can help our teammate out, I guess that'll have to do. Let's see if we can try and get a run out of the second Lesmo. These tyres are falling away late on in the afternoon, so this definitely wasn't the surefire strategy I'd hoped it would be. Lando Norris again though going to try and go defensive down in towards the Ascari chicane. Round the outside will go, and Ferrari's hopes at the very least of a podium here gone in an instant as Lando Norris will drop back down into P4. But will we see Perez get a run on Charles Leclerc, set himself up for the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix? It has been action from start to finish here at the Temple of Speed. It has not stopped all afternoon. Sergio Perez is a long, long way back behind our teammate, but he will get closer and closer as they head back down towards turn 1. Charles Leclerc, I don't know how many times today he's had to defend that inside, but he's going to try and do it once more here. Will Perez be able to get around him? I don't think he has. And we don't often see any other overtaking opportunities around the rest of the lap between the AI there. Occasionally, they will send it down into Ascari, as I just did on Lando Norris there. But Perez is not giving up. He is glued to the back of Charles Leclerc's rear wing there. And will we see any potential last lap shenanigans going on at the front? Lando Norris has not given up on this podium just yet. Our tyres are absolutely, like I said, falling apart at the moment. But just a handful of corners to go here at the Italian Grand Prix. I think Charles Leclerc has done enough to keep Sergio Perez at bay. And the young Monegasque driver was once, of course, Ferrari's darling. Their hope to bring the Italian squad back to the top of Formula 1. He did achieve it, of course, all the way back in Season 1 of this career mode, but it's never quite been the same again. Lando Norris, though, is still trying to apply pressure to me, side by side with the Ferrari, into the final corners of the Italian Grand Prix. Will he be able to hook it up? No! And every Italian lets out a gasp. I'm probably going to have to leave the circuit in a body bag because I have ruined their weekend.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
They made great use of the clear air today and didn't allow anyone to exploit the slipstream behind them. What a great win here at Monza. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. And with today's impressive result, Charles Leclerc steps into the championship lead. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Yuki Tsunoda gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula 1. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula 1 action very soon.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Italian Grand Prix, and Charles Leclerc takes back the lead in the Drivers' World Championship after a rough weekend last time out there. Sergio Perez, a good result for the Mexican, splits up the Audis come the end of the race there, and yeah, Lando Norris, I'm sure, gutted not to give the home fans what they would have wanted there. Ocon ahead of Piastri, Stroll, Ricciardo, Mick and Yuki rounding out the top 10 means championship-wise we continue to drop back. 83 points back now. Lando Norris, though, 8 points now behind Charlie Boy, once again, with Bottas still in P4 overall in the table. It's been quite weird, of course. We just assumed Perez has been ahead of Bottas all season long, but yeah, you know what? The Flying Finn has been doing still very, very well there. I mean, that battle behind myself there really does extend from Bottas all the way down to Lance Stroll, maybe even Gasly come the end of the year there. Good weekend for AlphaTauri, though, gives their team a big, big boost. And constructors-wise, though, we further extend the lead at the top, 79 points clear of Ferrari there. And yep, like I said, AlphaTauri, they're re-jumping Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. But what a weekend it's been here from the Temple of Speed. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and we will be back very, very soon when Formula 1 heads to Singapore. You guys do not want to miss it. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.